Peace, it's Equalityfragrances coming to you from Prince George's County, Maryland. Welcome to my cipher. A cipher is a person, place, or thing within my circumference. The understanding of my cipher is peace. For all those new to the channel and those who have been supporting me since day one, I humbly appreciate all your support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified when I drop some new videos. All of that goes a long way in helping the channel grow, and it costs you nothing to do. If you have any questions for me, do not forget to follow me on IG and send me an inbox message. If you're not following me on IG, I will not respond to the inbox message. It's just an etiquette thing for me. Don't take offense to it, but make sure you're following me. I reply to all messages. I get a lot of people asking for different ideas or asking for recommendations. I do a lot of that on my IG, but you got to make sure you're following me. With that being said, come on in, sit down, and let's build. So I know I haven't been recording in a while. I had some other things that was pressing that I need to take care of. But during that time, I received several messages from people asking, can I do a Father's Day list? I said, you know what? I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you covered. Now, what is a Father's Day fragrance? Of course, it'll be for somebody who's a father, right? Or, and that can be your father, that can be your husband or boyfriend who's a father. So with a Father's Day fragrance, you start thinking about what kind of fragrances would that be? Would it be a really good gift? Well, two things come to play in that. Is it somebody who's really in the fragrance game, who has a sizable collection? Then I would say the good thing to do is see what they have, try to get something they don't have or something they really, really want if you're keen to your boyfriend or your husband. If it's somebody like my father, he don't really care about no fragrances. It's like, I just want to smell good, get me something. So I start thinking about things like signature scent. Something that I know if I get my father fragrance, he probably gonna wear that wherever he goes. It could be a birthday party, it could be a religious place, it can be the grocery store. If he's gonna put something on, he's gonna wear that. So I want something that's gonna be very signature scent worthy. So I'm gonna give you 10 fragrances. My number 10 ain't that much signature scent, but it's a great fragrance that I think would make a great gift. Let's start the show. Coming in at number 10 isn't necessarily a fragrance I would consider a signature scent fragrance, but this is just such a good fragrance, I had to put it on the list. It is a really good, affordable date night fragrance. And if you're in the fall or winter or cooler weather, this would be great. If you're in the summertime and you're somewhere like Miami or San Diego, you're eating dinner near the water and you have the breeze coming up against the water, you already know in hot places, it's still gonna get about 70, 80 degrees is what it's gonna feel like. This would be a good fragrance to put on, especially at night. And this is from the house of Zaharoff. This is Wanted by Night. To me, this is the best flanker from the entire line. What do you get here? You get something very spicy, aromatic, fruity, and woody. That's how it really, really starts off. Because you have that cinnamon, cumin, some dried fruits. You get lavender that makes it very aromatic. As it starts to dry down, you start getting those tobacco, leathery, ambery nuances in the base. This is a really good fragrance. Now, if you're really not into heavy cinnamon and cumin fragrances, something really spicy, you probably won't like this. But the majority of people who I know who have smelled this absolutely loves this fragrance. And this is Wanted by Night. And number 9 is a great affordable fragrance for any father. It is signature scent worthy, and you can find this for under $20 for like 100 ml, and it smells absolutely good. It's not one of my favorite fragrances within the genre, but for something that's affordable, you can't go wrong. This is from the house of Savoir Faire Soul, and this is Acqua Essenziale Blu. It's a blue fragrance, signature scent worthy, mass appealing. You can wear it anywhere. I don't care where you're going. You will not be out of place with this fragrance. If you took fragrances like Bleu De Chanel and Dylan Blue and you kind of mix them, that's what you would get. What is a blue fragrance? Well, this fragrance, what you get is something very fruity, little spicy, aromatic, woody. As it goes into the dry down, you get something that's ambery. If you don't know what that is, almost vanillic, sweet, little resinous with a woody base with that patchouli. Overall, a good fragrance. highly complimented. Not my favorite blue fragrance, but for the price you can get this for, this is great for somebody who really doesn't care about fragrances and just wants to put it on, or even for somebody who likes fragrances. This is from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, Acqua Essenziale Blu. Coming in number 8 is a really good fragrance from an indie house. This kind of fragrance is almost timeless, it's masculine, and it's magnetic. What are magnetic fragrances? To me, magnetic fragrances are fragrances that draw you in. If I can smell you across the room, nothing about that is magnetic to me. I already know what you smell like. This is the kind of fragrance that when you pass by somebody or somebody's in your intimate zone, it's a little bit more intriguing. I should coin that phrase, magnetic fragrances. I'll give you a top 10 on that somewhere down the line. Anyway, this is coming from the house of Sean Crenshaw. This is Ovation for Men. I did a full review on this fragrance. Check it out so you get my full and detailed thoughts on the fragrance. But overall, what do you get? You get something that's citrusy, but the citruses are extremely creamy, like really creamy citrus. It's extremely aromatic, slightly powdery, and resinous and woody. That's how I would overall describe this fragrance. Again, I did a full review on it. Check it out. It's from the house of Sean Crenshaw. This is Ovation for Men. Coming in at number 7 is another fragrance. I did a full review on it. Check it out. This is a very good masculine and mature fragrance. When I say mature, somebody probably 35 and up. This is signature scent worthy, any season, anytime, and for the most part going anywhere. And this is from the house of Zaharoff, and this is Signature Royal. How would I describe this fragrance? This is a spicy, woody, aromatic fragrance. Very gorgeous. If you love lavender, it's very it's very therapeutic. It's almost a therapeutic fragrance. You have that lavender, cardamom, you get this nice crisp green apple, some citruses. It's slightly powdery. That's from the musk. I get the musk from the beginning and I really get it in the dry down. The oud that's in here is extremely wearable. Think something like oak barrel, not something overly resinous or animalic or fecal. It's a very smooth, slightly charred oak barrel is how I would describe it. And you get this really nice, realistic, freshly new rawhide suede accord. Very, very solid fragrance. I did a full review. Check it out. This is Signature Royal from Zaharoff. Coming in number 6 is a signature scent worthy fragrance. Of course, I have to go to the house of Mancera. Now, I could have easily gave y'all 10 Mancera fragrances for Father's Day. Great gifts. The house is just so easy to wear. But this fragrance is my latest pickup from the house, and I have been enjoying the wearing of this fragrance. You can literally wear this anywhere and do anything with this fragrance. It's extremely mass appealing. And this is Midnight Gold. Is it slightly synthetic? Yeah, this smells like something that could have easily came out on Chanel's Allure line. Easily. But that's not a bad thing, to be totally honest, because you can find 120 ml for under $100. You cannot go wrong with that. What does it smell like? It smells like the inside of a magazine fragrance ad. You remember those pages had the fragrance and you peeled it back and you can smell the paper, but if you was young, you probably put that paper on your neck and that was your fragrance for the day. That's what this reminds me of. It smells like the mall. I did a full review on it. If you want to know my full thoughts on it, check it out. This is Mancera's Midnight Gold. Coming in number 5, can be described as sex in a bottle. I've talked about this fragrance numerous times. Most people know how I feel about this fragrance. I've been telling y'all since 2019, this fragrance is lit. It is a must-have. It is a unisex fragrance. It smells different on a man than it does on a woman. But it has a masculine touch to it, at least off of my skin. Has some sweetness, some woodiness. It's exotic. This is dirty sex in a bottle. It really is. Everybody who smelled this loved this. There's a reason it will not stay in stock. This is from the house of Savoir Faire. This is Soul Cafe. I've done it for a review. I've talked about it. There's nothing else needs to be said. This is for the father who wants to clap cheeks at night. He knows what it is. She knows what it is. It's going down. Soul Cafe. Coming in number 4 is a classic fragrance. Classic to me. This fragrance, when it gets discontinued, people will appreciate it more than what they do now. And I understand why they don't. I mean, it's a DNA that's kind of been overused over time. This is the father of all fragrances within its genre. This is coming from the house of Chanel. This is Bleu De Chanel Eau de Parfum. Now, on a personal level, my favorite is the parfum version. I like it better than all of them. But pound for what you get, performance, scent profile, you cannot go wrong with the Eau de Parfum. You can't. I say have all 3 because I have all 3. But if you don't and you had to choose between the 3, I would say go with Eau de Parfum. What do you get? That nice blue fragrance DNA. Fruity, spicy, aromatic, smoky, with the incense, woody, ambery base. Mass appealing, compliments galore. That's Bleu De Chanel Eau de Parfum. Coming in number 3 is easily top 10 favorite citrus fragrances within my collection. This fragrance is definitely white t-shirt approved. Although I don't think I put it on my top 10 list, I think that was an oversight. This is my favorite from the line. You can find a 200 ml, I believe, for under $90. You cannot go wrong with this fragrance. This is from the house of Hermes. This is Terre de Hermes Eau Tres Fraiche. I love this fragrance. My favorite from all of the flankers. You get this nice, juicy orange. Like if you ever played football when you was a kid and the moms had the juicy, fresh oranges in the little Ziploc bags you ate after the game. Yeah, that kind of juicy orange. You get this green aromatic nuance which comes from the geranium. And you get a lot of like really almost earthy woodiness that comes from vetiver, cedar, and patchouli. Banger. Matter of fact, this is going to be my scent of the day. Absolutely fantastic. There's Terre de Hermes Eau Tres Fraiche. And number 2, I have to mention 2 fragrances. Why? Because they're extremely similar to each other. One would say one is a clone of the other. And that's why I sell Tuxedo and Rochas Moustache. Now this is a clone of this, extremely similar. Now are there differences? Yeah, when I'm smelling them side by side, but the reality is I don't care if you're around the best noses in Fragcom. If you walk into a room wearing this, people will think you are wearing this. $200 versus $40. That's up to you. I'm not your financial advisor. Do what you gotta do. But what is this? What really makes Tuxedo to me is that rose patchouli combination with that bourbon, vanilla, and ambergris, creating this boozy, silky amber accord. It's ozonic. This is a little spicy, fresh spicy, a little warm. It's great fragrance. With this one, the difference between the two, I get more cedar than I get patchouli. The patchouli is kind of meh. I get more cedar. I get like this rose cedar combination instead of rose patchouli, but you still have that ambery base. Extremely similar. Again, if you walk into a room wearing this, people will think you are wearing this. Plain and simple. And that's Tuxedo and Mustache. Coming in at number 1 is a fragrance DNA I knew I had to have on this list. This fragrance is sweet, zesty, woody, earthy, and it performs like a champ. This is coming from the house of Nishane, and that is Hacivat. Man, you could almost say that this is just a pineapple and oak moss fragrance, but there's definitely different nuances going on. How would I describe the sweetness of the pineapple? This is zesty, juicy, mouth-watering sweet pineapple. If you ever had one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's rather sticky a little bit. You get a lot of woodiness and earthiness to it. I get oak moss from the beginning to the late dry down in this fragrance. So you get that mossy feel to it. You get that patchouli, cedarwood. I feel like I get some remnants of vetiver within this fragrance. This fragrance composition makes Creed Aventus look rather juvenile. This is a very masculine take on the Creed Aventus DNA. And that's from the house of Nishane, and that's Hacivat. So, those are my top 10 Father's Day recommendations for 2021. Of course, there are thousands of other fragrances that you can get for your father or for the father in your life for Father's Day. It's so many. But when I looked at my collection and I wanted to pick out 10 really easy-going fragrances with different price variations, this is kind of what I came up with. Good recommendations out of my own collection. So with that being said, thank you all for taking the time out your day to watch the video. I'm going to leave you the way I greeted you, and that's the universal language of peace.